Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be comparing the SIG 250 to the Glock 17. Okay, now the Glock 17, okay, striker fired gun. Okay, it's got that Glock action trigger. Basically, you got a little bit of slack there, right? You got a little bit of take up, and then you got a really crisp light break. Okay, with the SIG 250, you have a double action only trigger. Okay, so with that, you got that long trigger pull every time. And you can see how the hammer is going to come way back every time when you press this. Okay, so that's the difference between these two different shooting systems. Okay, these action systems. Now there's no question that I can shoot a lighter trigger, a lot longer, a lot better. Okay, there's no question about that. If I'm shooting 100 rounds with the SIG 250, by the time I get to 100 rounds, my trigger finger starts getting very tired, and my shot groups start opening up. Okay, no question about that. For competition purposes, I would definitely take the Glock over the SIG 250. So why would I want to use a SIG 250 with a double action trigger? Well, for me, it's a safety issue. And basically, if you're doing any tactical training in the woods, right, you got your gun here, finger off the trigger, you're moving around, you're scanning and assessing. Okay, you're looking out there to see what's going on. You may not see a tree branch get into your trigger guard. Now, with the light trigger of a Glock, it is possible for a tree branch, okay, to set off that trigger without you feeling, any resistance. Okay, with the SIG 250, because it's got that double action trigger, I mean, basically, you're going to start feeling something. You're going to know that you've caught something. I mean, you have to really be running forward to set that trigger off. Okay, so basically, I mean, neither method is foolproof, but with the SIG 250 with the double action trigger, you have a lot more margin for error as far as anything coming, getting into your trigger guard. Okay, and keep in mind that you might be in, it may not be in during daylight hours. This might be during nighttime. Okay, so you can't see all the branches around you. So to me, that's a realistic tactical shooting type of situation, and for me, that's a very good use of the SIG 250, and why I might want to use a SIG 250 as opposed to a Glock or any other striker fired gun. Okay, so what I'm trying to do today is I got two targets set up over there, and what I want to do is I want to basically dump 10 rounds in each target, and I'm going to do it at speed. Okay, and I want to see how much my groupings open up. Okay, now I shoot a lot of different guns, and especially when I have two different guns that have trigger systems that are this different. Okay, what I need to do is I need to calibrate myself, every time I want to shoot. Okay, because basically I gotta get used to the trigger. Okay, so basically what I'll do here is I'll come here, aim, dry fire. So I gotta do that because I go back and forth between a lot of different guns. Now, if my life depended on these guns, I would probably pick one gun, right, and get good with that and train only with that. My life doesn't depend on these guns. Basically, I train other people. Okay, so I have to be comfortable. I need to be proficient. I need to be knowledgeable about a lot of different guns and be able to train other people. So that's why I have to be able to go back and forth and train with a lot of different guns. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some live fire now. Put on my earmuffs. Alright, so we're gonna dump 10 rounds at speed and see what kind of a grouping we can get at about 5 yards. Alright, not bad, all on the paper. So I'll make a circle around my grouping. That's my grouping there, and I got one flyer out here. Okay? I went a little bit low, but it's definitely on the paper, and that's not terrible. I mean, I can do better, but that's not terrible. Okay? Now I'm going to go with the SIG 250. And again, the same thing, I'm going to dry fire this trigger to get used to it. Now when you're training with a double action trigger, what you want to do is, when you pick up the gun, you're dry firing, start off slow, like basically stage the trigger. Okay, so aim. Okay, I'll do it this way. So you can see the hammer. Aim, stage the trigger, and then basically start going a little bit faster. Okay. So basically, the goal is that when you shoot this gun, you don't want to stage the trigger, especially in a self-defense type of situation. But the way you get to that point where you don't have to stage the trigger is you train with staging the trigger initially, and then basically, basically you do that with the first, 10, 20, 30 rounds, and then, after that you pick up your speed. So that's how you train with a double action only trigger. I think I want to actually a little bit faster with that. Okay, my grouping is. I got a couple of low shots, but it's actually more centered, and I got one fire off to the side over there. Okay, all on the paper though. Okay, so basically, at that 15 at that 15 feet, I mean, either gun will work just as good. Okay, and like I said, if I'm shooting more than 100 rounds, I will definitely not shoot as well with the double action trigger as I will shoot with a single action trigger. But for defensive shooting purposes, you're not going to be dumping magazine after magazine. I mean, it's highly unlikely that you're going to shoot more than 5 or 6 rounds. So your trigger finger is not going to get that tired, okay? So some things for you guys to think about. I definitely recommend carrying a round in the chamber, okay? Because a lot of people say, hey, a lot of people have a Glock or some type of striker-fire gun, but they don't feel comfortable with a round in the chamber. And that, to me, that's nonsense. If you don't feel comfortable with keeping a round in the chamber of a striker-fire gun, then you're carrying the wrong gun. All right, get yourself a double action gun like the SIG 250 or a single action double action gun, okay, and keep a round in the chamber. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.